Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we have a sad lesson for you. This is an intermediate level lesson about what happens when a friend or family member dies.
Exactly. So we have a lot of words that are related to all the preparations for when somebody dies, and also some phrases that you can say to someone that maybe had a family member who recently passed away. So before we get into all of this, we have a key word that we want to take a look at now in Vocabulary Preview.
Vocabulary Preview.
All right, so in Vocabulary Preview, you have that one word, and it's the title of our lesson also, funeral.
Funeral. So funeral is an event. It's something that we have. So basically, a funeral is the time when we mourn someone who has died. It's a celebration of their life.
Right, so it's kind of like a ceremony where you respect that person that passed away, right? Some people will talk about the person that passed away, or maybe, it's time to maybe honor that person, to, as you say, mourn and remember that person.
Right. So it's very common for people in different religions to have different traditions. In some religions, like I think in Christianity, you have a priest who will say some things that are very traditional and then say some things about the person who died. And other religions have different ceremonies.
Right.
So today we're going to take a look at what happens in preparing a funeral.
Hi, Daniel. How are you holding up? I'm greatly sorry for your loss.
Thank you. I'm doing much better. I've begun organizing everything for the funeral.
How's that going?
It's a lot harder than I imagined. There are many things that you have to arrange. I booked a time and date with the funeral home, but I still have a lot of things to do.
Have you bought a burial plot and a casket?
No, Wendy is being cremated. She always talked about how she didn't want to be buried. I already chose a cremation urn, and we plan to spread the ashes in the ocean.
I see. That sounds like something she would have really liked. I'm sure the memorial service will be tasteful. You're doing a great job.
Thanks. It hasn't been easy, but luckily we have life insurance, and Wendy left behind a detailed will that will sort out any other legal matters.
All right, we're back. So a pretty interesting dialogue, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions regarding some of those words and phrases that you heard. So why don't we take a look at 5 key words on language takeaway?
Language takeaway.
So basically, we have 2 friends in this dialogue who are discussing arrangements for a funeral, and one friend is asking the other about his preparations and asks if he's bought a burial plot.
Okay, burial plot. Now, what is a burial plot, and why would you buy one?
Well, a plot, P-L-O-T, plot is a piece of land. So you can think about this logically. A burial plot, burial, to bury, is a place, a space in the ground where we bury a person.
Usually you buy one of these at a cemetery, right?
That's right. So cemeteries have usually a lot of land, and you can pay for a piece of land.
A small portion.
A small portion, yeah. And that's a burial plot.
Okay, good. And, our next word is related to what you put into this burial plot, right? Somebody dies, and what goes into this piece of land is a casket.
That's right. And I don't know if any of you are fans of the TV show 6 Feet Under, but you'll know from this TV show that there are many different kinds of caskets.
Right.
So a casket is a box. You can have fancy caskets, or you can have wooden caskets that are very simple, like pine. And basically, this is the box that the person's body will go into when they're buried.
Right. Very good. So that is called a casket. Well, moving on, a new trend, I would say, in many countries and many people around the world don't want to be buried. So what happens? You get cremated.
Cremated. So this is the option for people who are not buried. In some countries, China, for example, I don't think you can be buried. You have to be cremated because there's an issue of space.
Right.
And this is an option for most people where basically your friend or your loved one, their body is burned, and you can collect the remains afterwards. They're very small. They're ashes.
Right.
So it's like a burning process.
Okay, interesting. So the word is to be cremated, to get cremated.
Yeah, his body was cremated.
Was cremated. And well, as you said, you take the ashes and you can put them in a cremation urn or just an urn.
Okay, urn. This might sound like a strange word to you, but an urn is a special kind of pot, okay, or a vessel to hold things in. So, for example, in this case, we have a cremation urn that is a special pot, usually very beautiful. Sometimes there's a name on it with the deceased person's ashes,
Right.
his or her remains.
Okay, very good. So, as you said, it's kind of like a vase or a pot, something very nice and small where you have the person's ashes. All right, so now we know what happened during the funeral. We know what happens, how you maybe cremate the person or you put them in a casket. And, well, what happens afterwards?
Well, afterwards, you have a memorial service. Okay, so many people want to know what's the difference between a funeral and a memorial service.
Right.
In my mind, a funeral is very quiet and sad, and you have some respectful words, and you usually put the casket into the ground, or you have some kind of ceremony. But a memorial service is an opportunity to talk to friends and family, to eat some food, to have some drinks, to talk about the person who died. It's almost like the party, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's a get-together of people who obviously are trying to give support to their friends or their family members who lost that person, but also to talk about that person in a good way and all the great memories they had. I guess that's why it's called a memorial service, because you remember and you give out your memories about that person.
Exactly.
Okay, great. So a lot of interesting words there, very specific to this topic, but obviously really important. So why don't we go back and listen to the dialogue again?
Hi, Daniel. How are you holding up? I'm greatly sorry for your loss.
Thank you. I'm doing much better. I've begun organizing everything for the funeral.
How's that going?
It's a lot harder than I imagined. There are many things that you have to arrange. I booked a time and date with the funeral home, but I still have a lot of things to do.
Have you bought a burial plot and a casket?
No, Wendy is being cremated. She always talked about how she didn't want to be buried. I already chose a cremation urn and we plan to spread the ashes in the ocean.
I see. That sounds like something she would have really liked. I'm sure the memorial service will be tasteful. You're doing a great job.
Thanks. It hasn't been easy, but luckily we have life insurance and Wendy left behind a detailed will that will sort out any other legal matters.
All right, we're back. So we have a couple of phrases, 4 to be exact, that we want to take a look at now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, this first phrase is a very useful one if you're trying to ask someone about maybe how they're feeling, or someone who's had some problems recently. You can ask them how things are going. One person says to the other, "Hi, Daniel, how are you holding up?"
Right. How are you holding up? Now, you know that to hold up something means to have it in your hands, but in this case, you're talking about how are things going?
Right, but I wouldn't say, "Hey, how are you holding up?"
Right. You wouldn't say that to somebody, right? If normal circumstances.
Not if Marco looks really happy, I won't ask him. But if someone has passed through a very difficult period, for example, if someone dies in their family, or perhaps if they've been very sick, or, there's some negative or difficult things that happen, you can say, "How are you holding up?"
So basically means how are you dealing with this difficult situation?
Yes, exactly.
Or how are you dealing with your illness? Okay. How are you holding up?
Or how are you holding up with your in-laws?
Right, exactly. How are you dealing with that difficult situation? And then the person complimented this by saying, and this is a very good phrase, this whole sentence is very useful if you want to say something nice to a person that has recently lost someone. You say, "I am greatly sorry for your loss."
Okay, so you might have heard the word loss before. Lose, loss. Loss is a noun. It's a thing. We normally say this about people who have died, because you don't want to say, "I'm really sorry for your dead brother."
Right.
That's it's sad. It's
Too direct.
very rude. Too direct. So in English we say, "I'm greatly sorry for your loss, for this part of your life that has been, that has gone away.
Right.
You can also say, I'm very sorry for your loss. This is standard phrase this is a standard phrase for funerals and memorial services.
Exactly. So if somebody's brother died, you go up to that person and you can say, I am greatly sorry for your loss. I am very sorry for your loss. That's what you say. And it's very respectful and it's very nice to say.
Yes, it's very nice.
All right. So now moving on, we've said that the person is sorry and everything. But then they were talking about the girl Wendy and that she had life insurance and that she also left behind a detailed will.
Does that mean she forgot it?
She forgot it. But that it can mean that, right?
Right. No, yeah, this is a phrase that has a couple different meanings. And so it's important to look at this one when we're talking about someone who has died, who left behind something. It means that they have completed it in this case, or it survives them.
Okay. So they left that for you. Okay. Because as you said, it has a couple of different meanings. Like to leave behind can be to lose or to forget. But in this case, specifically, it's to leave for you.
Yeah. For example, you could say he died and he left behind 3 children. Okay. So that means that he had 3 children when he died and they're still alive.
Right. Okay. Very interesting phrase, to leave something behind. And so she left behind a detailed will, and that's going to sort out any other legal matters.
To sort out. This is a great verb. This is it's a verbal phrase that we hear a lot with documents and wills and things like this. Basically, to sort out means to solve problems or to fix or to amend. For example, have you sorted out that problem you had with your plane tickets?
Okay, yeah, to sort out. So have you fixed those problems or have you solved those problems that you had with your plane tickets?
To sort out, to fix, to make arrangements for. Very, very useful phrase.
Very useful phrase. Okay. So 4 key phrases there, really good ones. Why don't we go back, listen to the dialogue, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more.
Hi, Daniel. How are you holding up? I'm greatly sorry for your loss.
Thank you. I'm doing much better. I've begun organizing everything for the funeral.
How's that going?
It's a lot harder than I imagined. There are many things that you have to arrange. I booked a time and date with the funeral home, but I still have a lot of things to do.
Have you bought a burial plot and a casket?
No, Wendy is being cremated. She always talked about how she didn't want to be buried. I already chose a cremation urn and we plan to spread the ashes in the ocean.
I see. That sounds like something she would have really liked. I'm sure the memorial service will be tasteful. You're doing a great job.
Thanks. It hasn't been easy, but luckily we have life insurance and Wendy left behind a detailed will that will sort out any other legal matters.
All right, we're back. So now, talking about funerals, there's an interesting word. What is it called when a person speaks at a funeral?
Well, normally at a funeral, a loved one or friend will give a eulogy.
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 Okay, that's EU, right?
EU. It looks like a funny word, but it's very important, and it's something that you hear a lot. Who will give the eulogy? Or his son will give the eulogy. So this is maybe the keynote address in a funeral. This is the important speech where someone will discuss the person who has died and his or her contributions and life.
Right. Okay, so that's called a eulogy. That's
right.
really, really interesting because, I don't know, it's kind of a word that you don't really use much and you wouldn't really know it. For example, I didn't really know about it until I saw it in a movie when he made a mistake. He said Googlegy or something like that.
Really?
I remember it. Yeah, it was in a comedy. So, but very interesting words. It's a sad topic, but it happens. Sometimes you have to deal with these things, and so if you have to do it in English, well, what better way than to learn all of these things, which could come in handy sometimes.
That's right. And, you never know, you're watching a movie or something and this comes up. There are a lot of comedies, like you said. We call them black comedies. It means they're very dark and
talk about that.
strange. And they, like Four Weddings and a Funeral is a very
Yeah.
famous English movie about this kind of thing. And so this is useful vocabulary and some useful phrases for those situations as well.
Exactly. Even if you maybe meet somebody who, I remember I knew somebody who met a casket salesman. Who
Really?
sold caskets.
It's an interesting job.
Yeah, so you never know.
You never know.
Thank you for meeting me, Liam. The house feels too quiet today. Even the air feels heavy, like a blanket, but it also feels full of her small, bright memories today.
Of course. How are you holding up?
I'm trying. Sometimes I'm calm, then I see her scarf and break again. Kind messages arrive, but I get tired.
I'm very sorry for your loss. Your aunt was warm and thoughtful.
Yes. She left behind sweet notes and a detailed will. The will should sort out many legal things, but not the feelings.
We can go step by step. Have you called the funeral home?
I called this morning. The woman spoke clearly. She said we can have a funeral, a memorial service, or both. I didn't know the difference.
A funeral is the main ceremony. A memorial service is a gathering after with stories and light food.
My aunt loved simple things. She always said, "Please keep it tasteful." I want to honor that.
Did she choose burial or cremation?
She wrote that she wanted to be cremated and asked us to scatter her ashes near the old pier. She also liked soft piano music.
Then we don't need a burial plot or a casket, but we can choose a cremation urn to carry the ashes before we go to the water.
I found an urn with small blue waves. It feels like her.
Perfect. Who will give the eulogy?
I hoped you could. Your voice is calm. If it is too heavy, I can try.
I can do it if you stand near me. I'll speak slowly and keep the story short. Many guests learn English, so simple words are best.
What words are right at the start?
Thank you for coming to remember a kind woman. Then, she taught us to notice small joys, warm tea, fresh bread, a sunrise.
She would like that. She always served bread with honey.
We can place honey and bread next to her photo and the urn.
The funeral home asked about flowers. I thought of lilies, but she loved wildflowers.
Wildflowers fit her spirit. Friends can bring one small flower each. The colors will make a soft garden.
They also asked, who will carry the urn?
I didn't know there were so many details to arrange.
There are many steps, but we can sort them out. For the urn, I can carry it with you. We can move as one. Thank you. I think I need a clear plan for the day.
Let's make a simple timeline. Guests arrive and sign a small card, a quiet moment, my eulogy, 2 short stories from friends, we play the piano song, and walk outside with the urn.
After the service, we drive to the pier. The tide will be low at sunset. We can stand near the rocks.
Are there rules for scattering ashes there?
I checked. It's allowed if we stay away from the swimming area and respect the wind.
Good. Do you have funds for the costs?
She had life insurance. It will help. She even prepared envelopes for food and transport.
That is truly a gift. What about a simple memorial at home after the pier?
Yes, bread, honey, and tea. People can sit in the yard and share one memory each.
We can place a notebook on a table and invite everyone to write a short message.
That will help. I'm afraid of the silence after everyone leaves.
I can stay and clean up. We will not rush.
My cousin asked for a photo slide. I don't want a screen. Maybe we print 5 photos and place them in frames.
Perfect. Paper photos invite soft eyes, just faces and stories.
The woman at the funeral home said we could add a small ritual, maybe lighting candles or placing stones in water.
Stones and water sound right for the pier. Each person can drop a smooth stone into a bowl and think of a wish.
I like that. We can also ask people to bring a tiny object that reminds them of her. A tea bag, a shell, a bookmark. After the service, we keep them in a box.
We'll call it the memory box. On quiet days, you can hold one object and her voice may feel close again.
Close again. Yes. Do you want help writing the program card?
Front, her name, the date, and a line she loved. Notice small joys. Inside, the order of events and the speakers.
At the bottom, please join us for tea and bread after the service. The weather says soft sun tomorrow. If it rains, the funeral home has a small hall with warm rites.
Then we are ready for both. Remember to rest tonight.
I will try. Before you go, can we practice the start of your eulogy?
Thank you for coming to remember a kind woman. She taught us to slow down. She smiled at the market vendor. She shared bread with honey.
She would like that. She always served bread with honey.
We can also invite everyone to close their eyes and think of one color that feels like her. Then open their eyes and breathe together.
The color is blue, like the urn. Maybe a little gold, like honey and sunlight?
Blue and gold. We can tie 2 ribbons around the urn. One blue, one gold.
Thank you for being here and knowing the right words. I feel less afraid.
You are not alone. Tomorrow we will carry her love with calm steps.
Let's boil water. We can make tea and taste the bread and honey to check the plates and cups.
Yes, we will test everything gently, like a rehearsal for kindness.
The clock is still loud, but it sounds softer when we talk.
Let it tick. Time will pass, and we will shape it with care.
Come to the kitchen. The kettle is ready and the cups are waiting.
Now it's time to learn an English lesson full of care. And today our topic is a funeral, a hard word and a heavy moment. But we will use very simple language. We will move slowly, and we will keep our hearts soft as we learn the words that help families when a friend or a loved one dies. And I will speak to you like a warm guide on a small stage, clear and calm, so you can listen, repeat, and feel safe while you grow your English step by step in this sensitive space. Because even when life is sad, simple words can give comfort and strength, and your voice can carry love. A funeral is an event to honor a person who has passed away. It is a ceremony to remember the life, to show respect, to mourn, to share stories, to cry a little, to smile a little, and to stand close to the people who also loved that person. And different families and different faiths have different customs, but the heart is the same. We stand together, we speak with kindness, and we take care of the many small tasks that must be done, even when our chest feels tight and our eyes feel hot. And that is why language matters, because the right words help us move through the day. When someone you know has lost a loved one, a good line is this one: "How are you holding up?" And your tone is soft and slow, because you do not want to press, you want to support. And after that, you say, "I am very sorry for your loss," or "I am greatly sorry for your loss." And you hold eye contact for a gentle second, and maybe you touch a shoulder or a hand if it is welcome. And these simple words are powerful. They say, "I see your pain. I stand with you. You are not alone." And that is often what people need in the first hours and days. Not long talk, just care. Many families work with a funeral home, which is a place that helps to organize the ceremony and the other steps. And a person who is grieving might say, "I booked a time and date with the funeral home," or "I began organizing everything for the funeral." And this can feel hard because there are many things to arrange. But we can name each step, and when we name a step, it feels smaller and easier, and that helps the heart. So let us name the most common choices now with simple words and kind rhythm. Some families choose burial, which means the body is placed in a casket and then in the ground. And a casket is a special box for the body. And for burial, you also need a burial plot, which is a small piece of land at a cemetery. And people pay for that space and receive a map and a number. And on the day of the funeral, the family can stand by the casket, and a leader can say a few lines, and a loved one can read a poem. And later, the casket goes down into the burial plot. And the place can have a stone with the person's name. And people can visit that place in the future and bring flowers and speak softly. And all of this can help the heart. Other families choose cremation, which means the body is burned and becomes ashes. And the family can place the ashes in a cremation urn, also called an urn, which is a special vessel that can be simple or beautiful. And the family can keep the urn at home or place it in a quiet wall at a cemetery, or spread the ashes in a place that felt close to the person. And many people choose the ocean. And this is a gentle act, a small boat, a quiet beach, some words of love, a slow hand, and a calm moment as the ashes touch the water and move away with the waves. And the family breathes and holds each other and feels a little peace. Some families have both a funeral and a memorial service. And a memorial service is often a gathering after the formal part, a time to talk, to eat, to share photos, to laugh at bright memories, to hold old friends, to tell stories that show the beautiful and funny parts of the person's life. And sometimes the room is quiet and soft, and sometimes the room is lively and warm. And both are okay, because love can be quiet and love can be bright. And the main thing is respect and care. And people often say the memorial service was tasteful, which means it matched the person's style and felt kind and good. There is also a special speech called a eulogy. And a eulogy is the main talk about the life, the heart, the work, and the gifts of the person who died. And a son or a daughter may give the eulogy, or a partner, a sister, a friend, or a colleague. And the words can be simple. They can share a story from childhood, a lesson, a favorite song, a smell from a kitchen, a joke from a road trip. And the speaker can cry and pause and breathe and then continue. And every person in the room can feel that love, because a eulogy is not about perfect language. It is about honest love. When a person dies, there are also legal matters. And sometimes this part feels like a heavy bag. But a few words can help, because many people plan ahead and leave a will. And a will is a paper that says who should receive the house, the car, the savings, the photos, and other things. And a person might say she left behind a detailed will. And that sentence means the plan is clear and will sort out the other legal matters. And that helps the family, because then they do not have to guess. They can follow the plan and spend more time caring for each other. And some people also have life insurance, and that money can help pay for costs like the funeral home, the casket, the burial plot, or the cremation and the urn, and bills and food for guests and travel, and all the things that come at once in a sad week. There is also a special speech called a eulogy. And a eulogy is the main talk about the life, the heart, the work, and the gifts of the person who died. And a son or a daughter may give the eulogy, or a partner, a sister, a friend, or a colleague. And the words can be simple. They can share a story from childhood, a lesson, a favorite song, a smell from a kitchen, a joke from a road trip. And the speaker can cry and pause and breathe and then continue. And every person in the room can feel that love. Because a eulogy is not about perfect language. It is about honest love. Now let us practice gentle phrases for comfort, spoken slowly and with care. How are you holding up? I am very sorry for your loss. I am greatly sorry for your loss. I am here for you. You do not need to talk now. I can sit with you. I can bring food. I can help drive. I can help you book a time and date. We can call the funeral home together. We can write a small list. We can breathe. We can take our time. We can say the person's name and remember them. And when you say these lines with a soft face and a warm tone, they become like a blanket for the other person. Let us also practice simple lines for planning. I began organizing everything for the funeral. There are many things to arrange. We chose a burial plot. We chose a casket. We chose cremation. We chose a cremation urn. We will spread the ashes in the ocean. We will hold a memorial service next week. My brother will give the eulogy. I booked a time and date with the funeral home. The service will be tasteful. We have life insurance to help with costs. She left behind a detailed will. That will sort out legal matters. And these lines are short and strong, and they help you move from step to step when your mind feels slow. On the day of the funeral, keep your body calm and your words small. Arrive a little early. Greet the family with a soft hug if it is welcome. Say, "I am sorry for your loss." Hold eye contact for a moment, and then step back so others can greet them too. Take a seat near the middle if you are not family. Turn off your phone. Listen to the music. Listen to the eulogy. Let your tears come if they rise. And later, at the memorial service, you can share a short memory. One bright story that shows their kindness, their laugh, their work, or a small daily habit that you loved. And keep it short and real, because real love is simple and strong and does not need big words. If a friend is making arrangements and feels lost, you can help in small ways that matter. You can pick up guests at the airport. You can order simple food and cups and plates. You can print a photo for the front table. You can bring flowers. You can drive to the cemetery to ask about a burial plot. You can visit the funeral home to ask about time and date. You can help write a program with the order of the service. You can set a small table with tissues and water. You can clean a kitchen after guests leave. And you can do all of this with quiet hands and a steady heart. If the family chooses cremation and an ocean ceremony, plan for weather, bring warm clothes, bring a small basket for the urn and flowers. Choose safe steps on the sand. Speak one short line like, "We love you. We thank you. We let you go." And open the urn with care. Let the ashes meet the sea. And breathe in and breathe out with the waves. Because the sea can hold sorrow and bring peace at the same time. And the sound of water is like a hand on the heart. Sometimes people feel afraid to speak at a funeral or a memorial service, but your words can be simple and still beautiful. You can stand and say, "I met him at work. He helped me on my first day. He showed me how to fix a problem. He made me laugh at lunch. He loved his family. He was patient with everyone. I will miss him. Thank you." And then you sit, and that is enough. And that small, honest talk can help everyone breathe. After the service, practical tasks continue, and it helps to use clear words. You can say, I will sort out the photos. I will call the bank. I will check on the will. I will help with the insurance claim. I will drive the kids to school. I will answer messages. I will keep a list. I will share updates. And you do not have to do it all. You choose 1 or 2 things and do them with care. And that is real help. In the weeks after, grief often moves in waves, and your friend may feel okay in the morning and sad in the night, or fine for a day and then heavy for a day. And you can keep reaching out with small lines. I am thinking of you. How are you holding up today? I cooked soup and I left it by your door. I am going to the store and I can bring milk and bread. I can walk the dog. I can sit with you in silence. And you keep your voice gentle, because grief does not follow a schedule, and kindness needs no calendar. If you need to talk to a child about a funeral, keep the words small and true. You can say, "Grandpa died." That means his body stopped working. We will have a ceremony called a funeral to say goodbye. We will bring flowers. We will listen to stories. We will hug each other. We will cry, and it is okay to cry. And we will remember him with love. And children understand love, and they feel safe when the words are clear. Today, we learned many key words: funeral, funeral home, burial, burial plot, casket, cremated, cremation urn, ashes, memorial service, eulogy, life insurance, will, left behind, sort out legal matters, tasteful, arrange, organize, book a time and date, spread the ashes in the ocean, and phrases for comfort like, "How are you holding up?" and "I am very sorry for your loss." And you can feel these words in your mouth now, soft and steady, ready to help someone when life is hard. Before we close, let us lock in a short practice with calm breath and slow rhythm. Say these lines with me in a whisper or a gentle voice. How are you holding up? I am very sorry for your loss. I began organizing everything for the funeral. There are many things to arrange. I booked a time and date with the funeral home. We chose a burial plot and a casket. She is being cremated. We chose a cremation urn. We will spread the ashes in the ocean. We will have a memorial service next week. My brother will give the eulogy. The service will be tasteful. We have life insurance. She left behind a detailed will. That will sort out legal matters. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your love. We will take it one step at a time. And with each line, your English grows, and your heart stays open. Today, we learned many key words: funeral, funeral home, burial, burial plot, casket, cremated, cremation urn, ashes, memorial service, eulogy, life insurance, will, left behind, sort out legal matters, tasteful, arrange, organize, book a time and date, spread the ashes in the ocean, and phrases for comfort like, "How are you holding up?" and "I am very sorry for your loss." And you can feel these words in your mouth now, soft and steady, ready to help someone when life is hard. You did very well today. You learned words for a difficult day. You practiced gentle phrases. You learned how to stand with a friend in grief. And you learned how to make plans with clear language when the mind feels slow. And I am proud of you for staying with this topic, for breathing through it, and for building calm strength in simple English. And as you go forward, keep these words close, like small keys in your pocket. And when life asks for them, take them out, speak with care, move with kindness, and let love lead you step by step.